Thanks for watching the Accounting Guys YouTube channel. My name is Blake, and today we'll be going over holdbacks and rebates. This was a request by one of our viewers, so we'll be going over how to map them as well as the best place to put them to make sure they're flowing through your system properly. Hope you enjoy.
There are a couple things to keep in mind about holdbacks and rebates. Main thing is how you're going to be receiving that money, because that's going to affect how we map things. The other is holdbacks are typically the quarterly bonus. Rebates are on each deal. It's an incentive to sell that specific make or model, however the manufacturer sees it, and there are manufacturer to customer or there's manufacturer to dealer. Each of those has their specific place as well as specific mapping involved. This tends to be one of those areas that's a bit more specific to the dealership, so I'm going to just be giving a basic overview of the mapping, how things flow through, how receiving the payments are going to work. Hopping right into it, if you go under sales, major unit inventory, and then select the unit that you're receiving holdbacks or rebates on, and go under the discounts tab. Here is where you're going to be putting the holdbacks as well as the manufacturer to dealer rebates. So on the holdback side, you're able to select whether it's cost or retail, and you can have it calculated as a percentage or as a dollar amount, depending on how the bonus is going to be structured. If it's $200 a unit or just 10% of however many deals you sell, you can have it calculate here. So let's just say, for example, 10% of the deal is a holdback. Manufacturer to dealer rebate, you would be able to enter it in this line. So we'll go ahead and enter 200 there. And then manufacturer to customer rebate, this is a little different. So if you were to use this line, it would do half of the journal entry for you, because with this rebate, you're acting more as a flow through rather than actually getting the credit for this rebate. So if you were to enter $200 here, it would go to an account where you would have to then make an invoice to pull it out to get it on your part statement, or you would do a customer memo to get it to your AR. So this makes it a two-step process, which is totally fine, but the way that we recommend doing it is through the extras and fees section of the sales deal. So we'll go ahead and save this unit, and then if we go to sales deal, if you go to the sales recap and click extras and fees, you can see that we've added the customer rebates here. And if we go and select what the unit that's going to get the rebates for, you can add in a negative price and a negative cost, and it will allow you to select what AP vendor you want that to go to. We can say Forest River is going to give us this parts credit for this customer rebates. We can have it go to AR as well if that's where you're going to be receiving that money through. We'll go ahead and finalize this deal. So now the deal's been finalized. So you're able to see here, this is the customer rebate from the unit, and here is the customer rebate from the extras and fees. So both of them calculate into the cost, but I'm going to show you really quick the difference in the mapping. So hopping into the mapping, it's under sales, lists, major unit sales categories. And if we click on this Can-Am sales category, because that's what we used, you'll see here that for the holdbacks, it uses this sales category. So if we click into that GL interface, you'll see that holdback went to Can-Am holdback. And that's where that AR is going to be for us to receive that check for the holdbacks. Manufacturer to dealer rebates uses this sales category. If we go ahead and click on that GL interface, you'll see this one goes to the Can-Am rebates. Then if you go to customer rebates category here, this is where your customer rebate will pull if you put it on the major unit side. GL interface, and you can see here, I have it mapped to go to the clearing account. And that's just so if you use that, it hits that clearing account, bring up a red flag of, hey, we need to make an AP invoice to pull it from here to go to AP, or from here to go to AR, so you can put it to where it needs to go. And that two-step process is why I recommend using the extras and fees side. And then when mapping it through the extras and fees section, if you go sales, lists, extras and fees, you can see here this is where we get this line item for the extras and fees to populate on the sales deal, and that mapping comes from the major unit sales category again right here. So if we click on that, we'll see when we do the extras and fees, the price will do this, the costs will do this, and this AP section and AR section. And that's why you have to select where you'd like it to go. This makes the clearing account wash and puts it in AP, doing the same thing in one step where the other way would do it in 2 steps. So now let's say you've received the holdback check or you've received that parts credit now, and this is how you would go about clearing those out. So if we go under receivables, customer inquiry, we'll search for the rebates. So if we go into Can-Am rebates, we'll see here's the rebate that I got for that deal that I finalized. So if you receive the check or someone at your parts counter receives the checks, you can do it through parts, cashiering, miscellaneous receipt. So they received a check and then they go in here, say it's for $300, AR account, Can-Am rebates, select OK. If they click cashier, so here you're able to see that now that we've refreshed it, these two now have applied and you've received that check to offset this AR amount for holdbacks. That's how you'd go about doing it if you're receiving checks. So now let's say you received it in as a parts credit. So to do that, you'll go payables, pay invoices. Then if you go Forrester Parts, the AP that we sent it to, you'll see here that your customer rebates are now hitting this AP account as a negative. So when you get this on your parts statement or you're going to pay it, you'll be able to select these are the parts I'm paying for, and then these are the rebates that are applied to this statement as well. And the net should be the dollar amount that you're paying for that parts statement. So a couple things to keep in mind about having rebates mapped to accounts payable is the first, if you notice that some rebates haven't been applied that are older than about a month, typically that means that you're either missing that credit and it was never applied to your parts statement and you need to call the supplier, or they were incorrectly applied or the invoices were incorrectly paid, and that is a good opportunity to go back through and make sure that everything's being tied together properly and everything's working the way that it should be. The other thing is if you received a check for a rebate that you thought you were getting a parts credit for, you can come in here and see here it is in AP, and if you go up into payables, vendor invoice, this is the easiest way to go about it. You can select Forrester Parts here and then do an invoice to them for that $200 rebate check, and then you can have it hit directly to your bank like that. And then you want to do either separate deposit slip for this check so that it shows up separate when the bank deposits, or you can take a picture and do an online deposit that way. That would work as well. It's pretty much just to separate that check from the normal batching system so that it shows up as a separate line item, and who's ever reconciling your bank, it makes that a little quicker and a little easier to know that's what happened. And then if I go ahead and click save, and let's go back to pay invoices, if we refresh here, you can see these two are now applied together, and you can pay all selected, and it's a $0 check. So you can go ahead and pay it, clears those out of AP, and it shows that you received the check in your bank account in LightSpeed. Last thing I'm going to want to show you here is if we go up into General Ledger, Chart of Accounts, and go to the Finalized Deals Clearing Account, go to the History. Okay, so with our customer rebates on the extra lines, you'll see that it went in and out like that, doing the journal entry for you. But with the one that we put on the unit, it just went into this account. So from there, you'd have to go and create an invoice, pull it out, put it to that AP to be paid. This is why we recommend using the extras and fees. It just tends to streamline the process down a little bit. That brings us to the end of this video. If you are looking for specific training or just want to bounce some ideas off mapping, making sure everything's pointing in the right direction, don't hesitate to reach out. Our email is down below in the description. If you like this content, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We're always coming out with new trainings, new content every week, so don't want to miss out on that. If you have any video recommendations, go ahead and leave those down in the comments. This was actually a video recommendation from Eric. So thanks for that recommendation, and hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching.